Brother decided to bring his toxic best friend to my wedding instead of his girlfriend. When I refused, he called me Big Ted, and then his friend started harassing me online. I kind of know I am the asshole, but I need to know how bad it was. My brother is 29 and has been with Leah for about 2 years. We all like her, she is super nice. I am getting married next April and sent an invite to my brother's apartment. We decided to send invites to households and not individuals. For example, our aunt received an invite for her family and not for each individual. Last Thursday, we met at my parents' place. It was just the core family because of some tax reasons, lol. While there, I asked my brother about Leah's dietary restrictions. I know that she is a vegetarian for health reasons and that she cannot have certain raw vegetables. He said that she wasn't going to come and that he was taking his girl best friend, Amanda, instead. Now, their relationship is weird AF. Amanda has always been stringing my brother along, in my opinion. He always denies having feelings for her, but let's be real here. Amanda would date other guys, blow off my brother, then when things were on the decline with her partners, she would be attached to him again. Her last boyfriend broke up with her right around the time my brother, his then ex-girlfriend, Amanda, and her ex were supposed to travel to Spain. What did my idiot brother do? Go with Amanda alone because Amanda was uncomfortable with his ex-girlfriend. Obviously, he acted blindsided when his girlfriend broke up with him. I didn't even say anything anymore because it's all so weird. So, when he said that, I asked if Leah already had other plans. But my brother said that Amanda had asked if she could come because it would be an opportunity to finally see the old gang. We were in the same friend group in high school. I told him that I would have invited Amanda if I wanted her there. Amanda is mean and cold. She always makes disparaging comments about other girls. At every event, around 1 hour in, she will make some sort of scene that either has her running away crying or sitting mad at a table telling everyone to leave her alone and then making a cryptic comment about something hurting her. I told my brother I was revoking his +1 and Amanda was not coming to our wedding. He accused me of being misogynistic and bigoted because I don't understand opposite sex friendships. Which is BS. My husband has a female childhood friend who is his best woman. I love her too and she has been amazing. And she respects fucking boundaries. She always includes me and made a huge effort when I started dating my fiancé to integrate me into the friend group. Anyway, I said my decision was final. He could take it or leave it, but I would be inviting Leah myself because I like her. He screamed at me and told me to keep out of his business. I said to get rid of his weird fucking feelings for Amanda. He is mad at me. My dad said is none of our deal. My mom is furious with my brother. So Ida? Edit, to answer some questions. The invite was addressed to the Smiths. Funnily enough, Leah had the same last name as us. Granted, we have one of the most common last names. Yes, they live together. The tax thing is nothing huge. My parents have a small business but are really bad at keeping track of all their receipts. So every month we go and help them. We digitalis the receipts and put them in a bookkeeping software for the accountant. Comments where Op has replied, excellent count 4009, Uda. If he has any sense, he simply will not come to your wedding, that's the correct way to handle Oz like you. And, if he has any sense, he will go no contact with you Oop, yeah I wouldn't mind lol excellent count 4009, well, if you don't mind your brother and dad not coming to your wedding, that's fine. But the way you handled it makes you the not inviting your brother would have been fine. Giving him an invite, trying to dominate him and decide his relationships for him, and then uninviting his +1 because you want to decide who his partner is, that's overstepping. Oop, my dad is not mad at me, dude lol. He thinks it's unnecessary drama. He doesn't like Amanda either so he is just keeping out. Amanda replied to several other commenters. I included a few here. Commenter, NTA your brother is though. He needs a huge reality check. This chick Amanda sounds super problematic and toxic and since it is your wedding you are absolutely within your rights to decide who gets to be there and who doesn't. Hope your brother will realize how manipulative Amanda is and cut her from his life before she manages to destroy even more for him. Amanda, all of that is none of Op's business. She gave him A+, and revoked it. She is an op for intruding into his relationship. This will break up her family. Let's see if her brother and dad will be the only ones not coming. Commenter, it's confusing then why he and Amanda aren't together. They seem to be into each other. Or does he really like Amanda but she uses him as a placeholder and doesn't reciprocate his feelings? If that's the case, he needs to put distance there so he can move forward or you're right, he will be alone until Amanda gets married to someone else. Amanda, what do you expect? He has an sister. Update 1, regarding the invitation, I now realize I shouldn't have phrased it as inviting a single person. I thought inviting households would be cute and less pressure for guests. Lesson learned, LOL. Here's an update I'd like to share with you. After the confrontation, I didn't hear from Leah or my brother for about 2 days. During that time, Amanda reached out to me upset about my Reddit post. She called me an asshole and insisted that Leah is not the only special woman in my brother's life. She argued neither Leah nor I have the right to be selfish with my brother's time, asserting she existed before Leah or any of his girlfriends and would outlast them all. She ended with a presumptuous statement that she would surely see me at my wedding. I was fuming. I chose not to engage with her other remarks but instead sent her a clear message. Hello Amanda. You are not invited to my wedding. If you want to see the old gang, please organize a coffee date when they're all in town. Should you appear at the wedding, you will be escorted out, peacefully by staff or with police involvement. Please refrain from contacting me or my husband. Amanda responded with more emails, mostly vague threats and name-calling, and turned to Instagram to indirectly target me. She tagged me in posts, making my username small so people wouldn't notice me tagged but would see it in my notifications. She also used an Ask Me Anything sticker on her Instagram story, where I'm pretty sure she asked herself leading questions. Highlights included questions like, "What's the perfect outfit for a wedding?" with a photo of herself in a dress captioned, "This. But sadly I'll never get to use it, and what is your pet peeve?" Followed by a rant about nosy people who think they have the right to control others. She flooded her story with sad quotes about no longer having a girl's girl. She tagged me in every single one. Of course, I screenshotted them all, lol. Some friends reached out when Amanda started spreading a different story, claiming I originally invited her but later disinvited her because Leah hates her and pressured my brother to do the same. The cool part? Not one person believed her. Many of our old high school friends have cut ties with Amanda, and the few guys who still talk to her are more linked to my brother. They reached out to let me know Amanda was spreading rumors. The girls in the group blocked her after she vented to them, which led Amanda to start bombarding their phones. My brother panicked, thinking I'd started a campaign against her. Speaking of my brother, he called and texted me multiple times, furious that I excluded Amanda and even blamed me for any harm she might come to. He went as far as calling our mother, saying Amanda was depressed and threatening never to forgive me if something happened to her. My mom advised him to call for a welfare check if he was genuinely concerned because he, as an individual with no training, wouldn't be equipped to handle such situations. The biggest development is that my brother got kicked out of a shared apartment. Leah called me to say their relationship might not continue and that she might not feel comfortable coming to the wedding. I understood her decision and offered an open ear. We met for coffee, and she recounted their ugly fight. Without going into all the details, Leah didn't hold back. She made my brother read every single text out loud between him and Amanda and sent a copy to one of her male friends, who replied, "Leah, WTF? This is not okay." She used this as evidence that their interactions were, at best, inappropriate and, realistically, an emotional affair. When my brother begged her to stay, she asked him why, knowing he would always choose Amanda. He swore he wouldn't, but his immediate response to a hysterical call from Amanda about me bullying her proved otherwise. Leah left while he comforted Amanda in another room. Later, she texted him that he needed to move out while she was away. It's her apartment, and she didn't want to see him until certain conditions were met, cutting Amanda out completely and seeking therapy to address his unhealthy patterns. The fight spanned 2 intense days. Leah found solace in your podcast and the comments here. She described it as surreal but helpful. She sends her greetings and wants people in similar situations to know a few things. Don't fear being alone because being with someone who's not good for you will make you feel lonelier than being single. Never enter a relationship with a "I can fix him" mentality as it usually ends in heartbreak. Prioritize yourself, and while trying to work things out is noble, don't depend on it as the solution. That's pretty much it. It sounds convoluted, like a soap opera, but my day-to-day life has surprisingly been calm. I think my brother really needs to mature and either commit to Amanda or realize he's being strung along. And to Amanda, please grow up and leave me alone. Update 2, we got a call yesterday night. He has been in a car crash abroad. My father and I are on the way there. Getting plane tickets was almost impossible, so we have been driving since 5 a.m. He was on a holiday with Amanda to clear their minds. Amanda didn't even call us. I don't know if she is still with my brother or if she is also hurt. My brother's phone was shattered, so he can't update us. The nurse, bless her soul, has been updating us. He can't even talk to us. I think I am just writing because I don't know what else to do. My dad doesn't want to talk. I don't know if he is mad or worried or both. I have never seen this expression on his face. My brother is an idiot who would hurt a bunch of people because he is selfish. But I still don't want him to die. He is my brother, thank God he is alive. Amanda is not here. Update 3, this has been an absolutely terrible week. My brother is alive but not doing well. We're stressed out of our minds because of the insurance situation. He and Amanda went to a country that's not part of the European Union, and of course, he didn't book any travel insurance. So, we have to pay up front and hope his insurance will refund us. But we all know how that goes. If they owe you money, you might see it in 8 to 18 business months. My mom and Leah are trying to figure that out too. Amanda came to the hospital yesterday. She hadn't left, she just had to go to the police because of the car crash. The reason my brother is in the hospital is not because of the crash, but because of sepsis, a UTI turned kidney infection turned sepsis. They decided to go on vacation to blow off steam. Around 4 days in, my brother started feeling warm and sick. Amanda said she offered to drive him to an ER, but he declined. I'm not sure if she's telling the truth, but this is the first time I've seen her being genuine. They went out drinking, and when they came home, he took something for the pain. Amanda couldn't tell me exactly what it was, but she said it worried her because you're not supposed to mix medication with alcohol. They started arguing, and then my brother passed out. I don't know why she didn't call an ambulance, she couldn't explain it to me either. But when my brother came to, she loaded him into the car. Amanda said she panicked, and when they were arriving at the hospital, she crashed into a barrier. That's when my brother's phone, which he was holding, flew out of the window. Amanda decided to run into the clinic to get someone and stay with the car until the police came. After that, they didn't let her in because she's not family. Instead of calling us immediately, she went back to their Airbnb and told me that she just needed a moment to process everything. She had to go to the police, pay for the damage, and then went to see my brother. But here's where it gets frustrating. Amanda decided that she needed to clear her head and left my brother in the hospital alone for a day. She checked into a nearby hotel to rest. She didn't tell any of us where she was until she showed up at the hospital yesterday, looking somewhat relaxed and acting as if everything was under control. When we confronted her about leaving my brother alone, she said, "I just needed some time to get myself together. It's been overwhelming." Meanwhile, my brother was lying in a hospital bed in a foreign country, with no way to contact us because his phone was shattered in the crash. We're now trying to navigate the logistics of getting him home and ensuring he gets the medical care he needs. Amanda, on the other hand, seems more concerned about how this whole situation is affecting her peace of mind. She even posted a photo from her hotel room, with a caption like taking a much needed break. It has been a nightmare, and Amanda's behavior, while not super malicious, has added to the stress. We're doing everything we can to support my brother. My brother, on the other hand, is struggling physically and emotionally. He's worried about the mounting medical bills, his recovery, and the strain this situation has put on our family. On top of that, he's afraid that Amanda is losing interest in him, which only adds to his anxiety. That's why we're playing nice with Amanda, to avoid adding any more stress for my brother. We're focusing on getting him the best care possible and bringing him home safely. Next story. Ex-husband paid for my nursing school 20 years ago after cheating on me. Now his wife is demanding I pay them back and asked my son for the money I just gave him for his baby. So for some background, my ex-husband and I ended things over 20 years ago. When our son was 2, he stepped out. At the time I was a stay-at-home mom and going to nursing school full-time. He was paying for my schooling. After he left, I asked him if he would keep paying for my school so I could finish with no debt. He agreed, saying it was the least he could do. A few months after that, he got his affair partner pregnant. Once she got pregnant, she demanded he stop paying for my schooling. It was 1/5 of their income, and she said that money needed to go towards their new baby. He refused and kept paying for the remaining year and a half I had left. Over the years I continued my education, and now I'm a nurse practitioner. I do well for myself and I never remarried. On to the problem. My son called me and told me he and his wife are expecting. I was ecstatic. I asked if I could come over sometime during the weekend by and give them some things, his favorite stuffy as a child, a check, and some other small sentimental things. He said yes, so I went over earlier today. I came by and gave him everything, including a check for a few $1,000s. For baby stuff, co-pays, the nursery, or anything else they may want. My son and his wife thanked me and told me the money would be very helpful. My ex-husband and his wife came over, and a little while later, they surprised them with dinner and didn't know I'd be there, and saw the check on the counter. My ex's wife asked about it and I said, oh well, I wanted to help out where I could. Everything's so expensive nowadays. I was really just trying to be polite, but I don't think this is any of her business. This woman had the audacity to say, well, maybe since you have all this money now you can finally pay us back all that money you took when you went to college. I was dumbfounded. My ex has literally never brought up me paying him back. He's always said it was the least he could do for both me and our son. My ex has done very well for himself in his career. I didn't see how or why they'd need the money, so I asked them, do you guys need the money or something? And my ex said no, and she said of course not, it's about principle. I told her I will absolutely not be paying them back for college tuition from over 20 years ago, especially when she ended up in our marital home while I was living in a small apartment barely making ends meet for years after I initially finished school. I've never been bitter or mean, I've always been civil since our kids are siblings, but my blood was boiling. I left shortly after that. According to my son, this has been a point of contention in their marriage. She's brought it up a few times over the years in front of him. And she's insisting to him that he needs to convince me to finally pay back what they're owed. The biggest issue is now that the whole damn family is involved. I got calls from 3 separate family members saying I need to get over myself and just pay it back. So I to hear? Update, April 15, 2025. So first I want to clarify some things. Yes, it was our marital home, we bought it after getting married. I didn't fight so hard for it in the divorce for a few reasons, mostly that she was borderline harassing me about how they needed the house for their growing family. I also didn't want to deal with a longer and more drawn out divorce, and it would have been if I fought for the house. Yes, he bought me out of the house, however it really wasn't much as it was late 2007. Most of it went towards credit card debt anyway. Another thing, when he was paying for my schooling we were still legally married. The divorce didn't finalize until after I graduated. There was no child support until after I graduated. There was never any alimony. I did live in the house while I was in school and they lived in an apartment. He paid all those bills including hers after she got pregnant. So his finances were tight at the time. The family that called weren't my relatives. They were my ex's and his wife's relatives. I thought they were family, they've since been blocked. On to the update. I got off work yesterday to find a few missed calls from my son. When I called him back he tells me that his stepmom has now asked for the money from the check since it was almost the same amount they spent on my college. She said it was obvious I'd never pay my debts and that I would just give him, my son, more money anyways. I'm stunned. I'm pissed. I don't know what has possessed her to think to ask my son for money intended for his family. I tell my son to ignore her and I'll handle it. So next I call my ex. It goes straight to voicemail. I try again a few minutes later and it's the same thing. So I reluctantly call my ex's wife and she answers immediately. I tell her the 3 of us, my ex, her, and me, need to meet first thing in the morning to discuss the debt. I'm thinking this needs to happen in person with all 3 of us so there's no confusion. She agrees. This morning we met at a coffee shop near my ex's work. As soon as they sit down I say, so, ex's wife, want to tell me why you think it's appropriate to ask my son for money? My ex looks at her and says, you asked, our son, for money? She starts on about how she was only asking for the money they're owed and she didn't ask for more than was on the check. Then she says for years we struggled due to paying for your school. For years we couldn't afford a new car, a new house, or a nanny. My kids had to share a room. She goes on about her struggles. I started to tune her out because I keep thinking there's no way she's this deluded. It may have been inappropriate but I laughed. I literally took out thousands in credit card debt to keep me and my son afloat while my at the time husband was shacking up with her and paying her bills. My ex looks at her and says, what the hell, Sarah? I added, it's laughable you think you're owed anything from while you were a mistress. We were married when he paid for my schooling. It's quite literally none of your business how he chose to spend money. You had zero entitlement to his money until you said I do, and from what I recall that wasn't until years after the divorce was even finalized. Do not contact me or my son about this money again. You will never see a dime from me. She rolls her eyes and gets up to leave. My ex tells her he's going to stay for a minute. After she's gone he asks why I didn't just call him and tell him about what was going on, said he would have handled it and that it didn't have to go this far. I say I did call him, twice actually, and this is how we figured out she blocked my number from his phone. So those of you who said she's just very insecure, you were absolutely correct. I tell him that she involved his sister, cousin, and his sister-in-law. That I got several calls and texts from them telling me I should just pay back my debt finally. I tell him that she involved the family and then asked our son for money intended for his baby. She's crossed too many lines. He apologizes and says he'll make sure she doesn't bother me about it again. We both leave after that. My son told me he blocked her number and doesn't want her at his house until she apologizes. That's pretty much it for now.